Hello everyone. So today I'm making a video on how to create custom cheats. There's a way of putting cheats onto your SNES Classic console, which you could actually go on the red.cht program, click modules, click on KMFD mods here. It'll load it up, and there'll actually be some tabs that'll say KMFD cheats. Now those cheats are, I guess, standard cheats. So as you can see right here, there's plenty of consoles, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, all those. They give you standard cheats, so you're not gonna have every cheat that you probably want. For instance, like Pokemon, you probably want to be able to get all, have all the balls, Master Balls, Pokeballs, Ultra Balls, TMs, all that fun stuff. But those standard cheats don't actually have those cheats, so you have to custom make those. Now, in order to do that, what you'll need to do is plug in your Super Nintendo Classic or Nintendo Classic into your computer, and once it's turned on, you'll have the little green light here that's stating that it's on. Now what you want to do is you want to have Notepad++. This is just gonna how you're gonna have to do it. So I went ahead and I have the little red.cht 3 folder in here. That's just all of the programs with red.cht. I went ahead and just created a folder with saying USB_cheats, and I made folders for specific consoles that I have. Now I recently have already made something for Pokemon Red. So if you go ahead and right click this, open up in Notepad++, you'll get the codes right there, right? So I'm going to teach you how to get to this, because originally you're not going to have this folder and you're not going to have that file in there. So what we're going to do is, once you have your Super Nintendo plugged up and you're in your red.cht program, go into Tools, open up FTP Client. What that does is it opens up all the files that are actually on your Super Nintendo or Nintendo. From here, what you'll do is you'll go into ETC, you'll go into libretro, and then .config, and then you'll go into RetroArch, and then you'll notice that there's cheats here. Now that's after you've installed the KMFD mods cheats for what I showed you at the beginning under modules. Once you have that installed, this will appear. When you open this, it'll have whatever you've installed. Going from here, it shows me all the games that it has that came with the standard install. So here's the problem. You can't open up Notepad++ from here. What you can do is you can actually copy this folder. So this is Nightfire USA Europe, right? We'll go ahead and minimize the FTP client that was your system. Now we'll go ahead and we'll just close all this, or minimize all this. We'll paste it here. And this was the file that we got from the FTP. So you can copy and paste it onto your desktop. Now when you do that, you can now right click and go into Notepad++. And here you have where it shows the cheats, how many cheats, false, so forth and so on. So the way to do this, you'll go online. I actually have something here. It's videogamers.com /cheats/Pokemon, because I wanted cheats for Pokemon Fire Red. So what you do is you'll grab the master code, you'll highlight all of this, and then what you'll do is you'll go back to your folder where it doesn't really matter. It could be on your desktop. You could put it in the hack cheat folder with the rest of the folders if you want. Create that cheat folder as, like I said, I listed mine as USB_cheats. Create that folder, create the system, the console that you're going to be using. Once you do that, then this is obviously going to be blank. Now what you'll do is excuse me, open up Notepad++, and you'll probably have this there if you've already opened this up to look at what this is, and you'll copy all of this because you'll need all this. This is just basically right here. This line is telling you the name of the code. This is the code, obviously, and this is always going to be false. Never change that. And the reason being is because when you go into the cheats in RetroArch on your system, that will allow you to turn the cheat on or turn it off. So you want to leave it false in the coding. Now, once you've copied all this, you'll make the you'll go ahead and create a name for this. You'll paste it all in here from the previous game. So you get all this, create a new tab, paste it here, and you'll have basically everything that's here. Once you go online, you get the codes, and this is Action Replay, by the way. You'll copy all of this for this specific code because it's a master code in order to be able to use, infinite money, instant wins, one-hit kills, have all Pokeballs, TMs, have badges, random battles, level up, so on and so forth. Even as far as being able to choose what Pokemon you want to capture for it to show up. So once you copy that, you'll start changing the name. You'll obviously input the code that you want. Now, most important thing is you'll see here the master code I have typed in here. I've also changed the number of codes, and the reason being is because cheats equal to the number, meaning number 3, that's how many cheats it's going to show when you pull it up on the system in RetroArch. If you do not have the correct number there, it's probably not going to show. So that's important. The second important thing is how you put these codes in. So this is a master code. You have to put the first, the first still of the code, and then as you notice there's a space in between the codes when you copy them. Just put a plus sign, and basically what that is saying is it's adding it to addition to the code so it continues on. So you'll want to add the plus sign for each space, so that way there's no spaces, and make sure it's in the quotation, open quotation to end quotation, and that's basically saying that the code's starting from here, reading all the way to the end of the quotation. Once you have that, you'll go ahead and actually copy this folder here that you created. Oops. So you want to copy this folder, and now we want to open up the FTP that we opened up earlier that's on your console. You'll hit back. Actually, if you go all the way back to Live Retro, that's where you're going to place your file. You'll just drag and drop in there or paste in there as I've copied. Now I'll go ahead and paste it here. Let's see. Here's a folder. We'll just replace it all. That's fine. I just had some previous cheats in there that didn't really need to be in there, so I replaced that. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to power down the console to make sure that it's off. And then if you have an OTG cable to while you're using a USB, do that. If you don't, and your games are not going, they're actually the emulator, then all you got to do is press start select, which I will show you here in a second. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch this out, so give me a moment. put the camera down. Okay, so now we're going to power this on. Okay, so we have Pokemon there. And we'll go ahead and select that since we're already on it. Since that's what we're using as an example. So we got it on. Start select. This will bring up the RetroArch menu. Now you'll go scroll down. You'll go to cheats. And make sure I get that close. So cheats. Now you'll go to load cheat file replace. As you see here, there's cheat folders here. This is the standard folders that you'll be downloading. In order to get to the custom ones that you created, you'll just go to parent directory. You'll just hit back once, and you'll notice at the top that it's going back on the file. So you want to go back till you hit lib retro, because that's where we placed the file. Scroll down to the folder that you created and paste it in there. Select that. Select the folder that you put it in. Let's see here. So I put a lot of placements in here. You scroll all the way down till you get the Pokemon. Unless you only have that one. Wait. Okay, so here we go. Pokemon Fire Red. And notice that it says Pokemon Fire red.cht. So whenever you save these files under Notepad, make sure when you're putting the name, put .cht. So you load that in, and here are my codes. So you can select it in, turn it on that way, back out. You could even push right, that will turn it on, as you saw on the lower left hand screen. And quick level up. So we got those in place. Let's see. So what we'll do, back out, or I'm sorry, before you back out, you'll want to apply changes immediately. So once you apply those changes, back out, and then resume. And let's see if these codes work. Which I know they do because I did them yesterday, but just to show you that they work. So, in the room, gonna hit the bag. Remember, we put the code for all Pokeballs. And, oops. As you can see, they're all here. They're all here. Of course, it looks like there's an overflow of Pokeballs, so with that being said, that worked. So the level up also works too. However, the problem with the level up is that once you start leveling up your Pokemon, while it's leveling, it doesn't stop leveling. So I'm not quite sure how to actually stop that from happening. I turned the code off and it just keeps leveling. So keep that in mind if you're doing the leveling cheat. But I will go ahead and show you here. That way you can see. Of course, it's going to go through the little deal. Talk to Professor Oak. And he wants you to pick your 3 Pokemon as usual. So, okay, Gary, we don't really give a fuck about you. So, we're on the Fire Red version, so I'm just gonna, be generic and choose Charmander. No, we don't want to give him a nickname. And of course, Gary's going to choose the opposite Pokemon because he's an asshole. And he wants to battle. Now, this cheat code for leveling, it even tells you before you actually put the code in. Again, it's the name of the code. It tells you how to do it. In this case, once we kill Squirtle, we're going to hold down the R button, and you will start seeing Charmander level up continuously. So I'll go ahead and scratch him. And surprisingly, he didn't die. Actually, you know what? Oh, there he goes. Okay, so he fainted. Alright, so we're holding the button, the R button. Sorry for the camera angles. I don't exactly have a setup here. And as you can see, we're already level 7. And actually what I can do is I can let go of the button and he will still continue to level. And again, it's gonna level him all the way up to 100. Can't really stop that, unless there is a way that I just don't know. But as you can see, these codes work. They're custom codes. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think. So, thank you.